born sinner, spiritually now a winner. For 27 years went through the hazy shade of winter. The sun always shine through my divine mind. And I'm one of the greatest poets of all time. When I rhyme, I make your drums go from numb to fluid.
My words are explosive.
They can just do it. Get Nike, Nike, and Nike. Cause this positive MC can change your whole psyche. When it comes to me flowing, that sure ain't no Mikey. Lyrically, I'll fight me or spite me. Cause all of my rhymes are blessed by the Almighty. Yo, this Coco Creamy connection. It's way of mental protection. Perfection is the only way to try to travel. So listen to my rugged road as it unravels. Gun barrels, drugstores, all of you that the fake friends. Trust me, never stop the easy finishing. Cause I know the end. But now, I want you to enjoy my song. Cause when revelations comes, my physical is gone. And that's 2 chapters before the followers they storm. And that's 2 chapters before the followers he storm.
That's Genesis and E off my first album, Hip Hop Forever. What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Eric Taylor. Tailored to you astrology with episode 91. Gosh, I can't believe it. Of Knowledge is Love, my podcast. And tonight I have an amazing guest, Mr. Stephen The Jupiterian. How are you this evening, Stephen?
Very good. Very good.
All right. And Stephen is a certified, this is big stuff, right? Certified tarot reader. And I told you guys I was looking for somebody, and he was right under my nose, a client, a friend, a Coffee Talk member, a regular on Knowledge is Love. And Stephen's going to share his insight, his gifts, and his knowledge. Of course, I'll give some examples of some of his chart placements that kind of show and indicate some of the Jupiterian's special gifts. So, Stephen, why don't you tell the audience, hey, you guys, I see you guys. Stephen's going to read your comments soon. Give us a minute to lay out the show. But, Stephen, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of tarot and then how you got into tarot card reading yourself?
Well, yeah, actually, the history of tarot is really easy. It began in Italy. Italy, yes, it's Italian. It's an Italian. It was a game at first back when they used what they call the major arcana cards. Today were called trump cards. Back in the day. Long way back in the day.
Are we talking 1900s, 1800s? Like what?
This is like the 17th century.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then tarot grew from there. They saw that a lot of the cards had similar symbols to the zodiac signs.
Right.
And
you're going to help us with that connection tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. Yes, actually it's a fairly easy connection too. When you actually can sit with a card and just meditate on the card, which I've done. Oh my God, all the cards.
Okay. I mean, I'm a total newbie. I've never even held a deck in my hand. I don't know that much about it. So I guess for me, well, tell us the process and like, what made you and how you did it to get certified as a tarot card reader.
Let's see. Wow. So in my 20s, I'm 52 now. In my 20s, I bought tarot card books and read about the tarot. And my aunt was an astrologer, tarot card reader.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Yes, yeah. Yes, and she
From your mother's side or your father's side?
My father's side. My father's side.
Okay, because your mother's side, I was going to go right to your 6th house, which is Taurus, And we're going to get to Stephen's placements in a minute. He is a Sagittarius rising.
Actually, my mom knows a bit, but she's a little skeptical and scared. She's a Taurus. Oh.
She's a Taurus?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, that's great. Okay. Mom's a little skeptical and scared. Well, and is that because of the whole divination or thing, or is it just? I mean, how does tarot work? Is it sort of someone asks a question and then you pull a card on the question and then explain the meaning? Is that?
Yes. Actually, although it could be either one or two cards. Actually, depending on the type of card that's pulled, because it'll give me some something, and then I'm like, all right, well, and then I will ask Spirit, well, what do you mean by this?
Because I usually see online when I watch tarot on YouTube and stuff. I usually see for like a question or for a topic, they'll usually pull anywhere from 2 to 4 cards. Is that kind of standard?
Yeah, for me it's 2.
Okay.
For me it's 2 because actually I limit myself because actually to at least 2 cards per question, or if you're doing, and depending on the type of tarot card spread you want to do, because there's like this Celtic cross, which is like a 12 card spread.
Oh wow!
And that will give you a year's worth of reading. So yeah.
Oh, for the 12 months. Okay.
Yeah, for the month, for each month. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Stephen's going to kind of explain how it connects to astrology, and we're going to actually use my placements as an example, and then maybe he can, pull some cards for tonight. So let me start off by saying, if you might have felt this today, and I hope you guys are doing well. You can comment down below some tarot questions for Stephen, but also how you doing with this Scorpio solar eclipse. It was very intense and emotional for me yesterday, and just purging with the sun, moon, and Venus on my ascendant. And I know like Danny Figueroa and Matt Gaming, some of you Scorpio risings, I don't know if Glam Diva's in here, but it's been tough for all the fixed ascendants, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. Whoa, this energy's been intense. Sun and Venus just went into Scorpio on the 23rd, and Saturn stationed direct. So right now, Scorpio moon, today it did square Saturn, and Saturn's direct. The moon right now is at 23 degrees. It squared it earlier today, and I saw that play out with some, energy or whatever. But we also are still dealing with the Saturn-Uranus square, because Saturn's at 18 and Uranus is still at 17. And this was a partial Scorpio solar eclipse because the nodes are at 13 degrees and this conjunction was at 2 degrees with the sun, moon, and Venus. So the ascendant for tonight, currently right now, Stephen, it's kind of cool. Everything's like in its, proper place. It's an Aries ascendant. The sun is at 3 degrees in Scorpio, and Venus is at 4 degrees in Scorpio. Mars is going to retrograde, you guys, on the 30th before Halloween. It's now 25 degrees. So it's zooming, and it's going to go all the way back. And we still got Mars and Gemini into March. So, it's been intense for me. For you Capricorn risings, the Mars in the 6th house, be careful of burns. I saw it with my son. He burned his hand in the toaster oven. Virgo risings, be careful out in public. My son hurt his elbow at a basketball game Friday night. And, that's, arms, shoulders, wrist, elbows, ears. That's all Gemini, Mars and Gemini. It was an injury. We had to take him to the ER. He's okay. That's the truth. And it's just been really wild. Stephen, have you experienced anything with the Mars and Gemini, which is in your 7th house?
I almost got into an argument with my partner.
Okay, I was going to say, because
I caught myself and I was like,
Okay, that's good. Guys, some things you can't avoid, right? Like my son burning himself in a toaster and my other son getting hurt at a basketball game. from some freaking jerky giant kid. But yeah, it's for me, it's in my 8th house. So I've been very aware of just those type of things. And it's the energy is intense. So let's get into it. So Stephen, why don't you read some of the comments, answer some of the questions, and we can address everybody, and then we can get into breaking down and showing my cards.
All right. Any questions? Everyone's just saying how excited they are to be here.
All right.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Well, who do we have here? We have Hope. Who else?
Evelyn Torres. Hey,
Evelyn.
Hey, Danny.
What's up, Danny?
Air Filter.
Who?
Air Filter.
Oh, Air Filter was there last week. Hi, Air Filter. Welcome back. Okay.
Pure Saba. I hope I'm not pronouncing this correctly.
Oh yeah, Sabale Pure Face and Body. Yeah, that's my wife. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Well, you guys can put in there any questions. So Stephen's going to show. So let me just, before he shows my sun, moon, and rising, I'm the Virgo sun, Cap moon, Scorpio rising. So I said, hey, let's show those cards. Just a quick little insight to kind of really speak on some of Stephen's gift, right? He's a Pisces sun, Sag rising, Sag moon. And the moon on the ascendant, you guys, can make you very creative. And then the chart ruler is Jupiter. And Jupiter is in his 12th house in Scorpio, which is very powerful placement and can even speak to some of the gifts that he has. Jupiter Scorpio is very much into the occult knowledge, and it's definitely a part of their wisdom, beliefs, and philosophy. So that explains that. And the moon, it makes Stephen very friendly. But the moon on the ascendant, even though it's in its planetary joy in the 3rd house, the moon on the ascendant can make people very, very creative. And I know, Stephen, you being a Pisces sun and Pisces, and actually Aquarius Mercury in the 3rd house, right? So that creativity, it definitely seems to go into like occult knowledge, right? Because you're into tarot, numerology, and astrology, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's
actually, all thanks to my aunt. My
that's awesome.
I love her. She's God love her. She's I feel her up in heaven from
Oh, that's nice. No, that's great. Listen, the ancestors, right? They give us these gifts. What sign was she?
She's a Capricorn.
Okay.
Taurus sun and Libra rising.
Taurus moon, you mean?
Taurus moon, yes. Taurus moon,
Capricorn sun. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's part of your family values, right? Because they're 2nd house.
Yes.
So she was one who was helping instill some of the values in Stephen of these gifts.
Yes.
That's really awesome. And then also I gotta bring the cat out of the bag. Yes, you guys, Stephen's got Uranus conjunct his midheaven in the 11th house, not the 10th. Pluto in the 10th, right?
Pluto in the 10th.
I remember correctly. Okay, so that Libra Uranus conjunct the midheaven, and that really shows you really being into esoteric knowledge, knowledge and sharing it with the collective over the internet, which you're doing now. Also, you guys make sure you go follow Stephen's page, Stephen The Jupiterian. I put the link down below. And Stephen, you do bookings for chart readings? People can email you on there, or
they can email me, yes, and through PayPal. Yep.
Okay. What? We'll do it again at the end of the show. But real quick, what is your email again for the people?
It's Stephen, STEPHEN, Schatz, SCHATZ @gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay.
And yes, I do have oracle cards. I have a deck of oracle cards. I have 2. Yeah, actually, I just got into these. Actually, these are really cool. Like, actually, if they want these are awesome cards. You can just pull a card if for any question.
Okay. So are the oracle cards a bit different from the tarot? Explain that to us.
They are, yes. Okay. Actually, these are angels and ancestors. they have all kinds of they have all kinds of animals. It's actually it's Native American. Yeah, it's a Native American deck.
Oh, wow.
Where they have animals, they have guardian.
So I'm not familiar with that. Let me ask you this: do oracle cards also coincide and connect to astrology in any way, or no?
Not that I've seen. No.
Okay, so that's
It's
just a
just like
separate.
It's just a clarifying card that will give after I do the reading, and then I pull one card. Every time I've done a reading, it like summed up the whole thing. I was like, oh.
Oh, wow. So it's really deep. Okay, I get you. Okay, all right. So let's. I want to learn a little bit. Let's show the card for the Virgo Sun. Since I'm a Virgo Sun, what?
Virgo
Take
Sun,
the card and show it to us.
is
Oh,
the
wow.
Hermit.
That's the Hermit.
Yes.
Okay, so explain that and how or why it connects to Virgo.
Well, let's see. A hermit, well, just like Virgo, is very deep. They like they're meditative. They're very introspective, and they almost like live in their head. But I can relate. So do I.
Stop making fun of me, Stephen. Be nice. Okay, that's cool. That I relate to that.
They're searching for meaning, and they're searching for truth physically in their physical body.
Yes, because Virgo rules like it's the humanitarian. It's of service, right? It rules the wheat and the medicine. So yeah, it deals with health and hygiene, work, service, daily routine. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
with searchlight, because
that explains me pretty good.
They're always searching for a meaning in whatever they're thinking of.
Yeah. It's kind of a gift and a curse.
Mm.
I always say it's because it's ruled by Mercury. Virgo is very airy of the earth signs, right? It's always in thought, but it's not outwardly active, masculine energy like Gemini. It's like you said, more introspective. And so sometimes there's an inner turmoil that Virgo sun signs can have because of overthinking and analyzing and so logical and critical and self-critical. My biggest advice to Virgos, or any Virgos out there, is, give yourself a break and be nice and kind to yourself, right? Because we can tend to be very tough on ourselves. All right, let's get to the daunting Capricorn moon, Stephen. What's
Capricorn moon?
I hope you're not going to scare me.
Is the devil card.
You got some explaining to do. What did we do wrong? Why is it the devil card?
Well, it's really not a terrible card, because you see that they are not tightly bound. Their chains are loose around them. They can easily get out. There are
so almost like Saturn, in the sense that the restrictions are not like permanent. It just limits, delays, and slows down things.
Yes, actually. Well, yeah, actually, this is since it's Saturn. Yes, Capricorn. Okay. Yes, because actually, this is because look at the devil. He's half man, half.
Yes, so it's kind of connected to Kronos.
Right. Yes. So yeah, definitely.
So if you pull that card, depending on the situation, how do you interpret it? Like, how would you, interpret the Capricorn moon in that sense?
Well, this is restriction and feeling isolated, or bound, literally. Literally bound to an idea or bound to like some part of your life that depending on what the next card I pull will tell me what the part of life they feel restricted or held back in.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, what about my magical Scorpio rising?
The Scorpio rising. Oh yes, the death card is Scorpio. It's
Gosh, you're making me feel depressed. I'm a hermit, a freaking devil, and then death.
Well, it's a death and rebirth card.
Oh, okay. You left out the good part.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the all these people in the card,
Yeah.
here's death, and then there's a child down here,
Oh.
and guy doing. I guess he's doing the last rites for this guy who's laying on the ground.
Well, hey, listen, I did experience the near death and the rebirth just this time last year, so God is good. Amen to that.
They're not all wearing black.
Okay.
They're not all wearing black. This woman here
So
is
it's more metaphorical.
Metaphorical, yes.
Yes.
The colors, you have to look at because actually, if you looked at other cards you can tell that's like if people are wearing like black or red or red sometimes it could be a warning.
Okay. So I think we might have a couple of questions. So why don't you see what the people are saying, and maybe you can answer some of their tarot questions if anybody has a specific question for Stephen.
Well, yeah, actually, death. Yes, it's not always bad as Hope said. Yes.
Okay.
And it isn't. It could come to it could be an ending, as Evelyn Torres said. Yes.
Okay. Any specific questions? So let me ask you this: since you are the Sag Moon and Sag Rising, what would be the equivalent to Sagittarius?
Temperance.
Okay, let me see that card.
What
does that card mean in the tarot? Like, if you pick a Temperance card, and maybe what we'll do is maybe you can pick 2 cards for like the energy of tonight. For do we have to ask a specific question, or do we say like, what's the energy? You ask Spirit, what's the energy for the show for tonight's episode?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, show the Temperance card again. Let me see.
Yeah, this is the Temperance card. Yeah, actually, he's got 1 foot on land, 1 on water in the water.
Okay.
It's almost like the Star card.
Okay.
But
so this is connected to Sagittarius or Jupiter or both?
This is connected to Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's.
So for Pisces, it would be different. Let me see the difference.
The Pisces is the Moon card.
Oh.
The Moon card, yeah.
Why is that? That's interesting.
I will definitely show you the Moon card. They have. You would think it would actually, after looking at the Moon card, you would think it would be Scorpio because it has a scorpion coming out of the water. I will show you that. This is the Moon card. Okay. There's the scorpion.
Are the cards a full 52 card deck, or how do they how many cards in how does it work? Does it equate with all signs and planets, or explain it?
Actually, the major arcana cards. Are
they like the Jokers?
The major arcana, cards are like it's almost. It's actually the Fool. well, we have the start actually with the fool. The first card of in the deck is called the Fool. So we go through the Fool's journey, and then the last card is the World, where you have it all.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, and the World card is interesting because it has every single. It has
Every single element, or
it has the element. It has the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water of all the Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio are all the
fixed signs.
fixed sign. Right. Yes. So yeah, actually, it's yeah, because here's Scorpio is of eagle,
Right.
Gemini, Taurus, and Leo in the corners of this card. So you can also look at that. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of symbolism in this card. So yeah, you can leave it goes into that, but actually the World card is actually coincides with also with Saturn.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, because they kind of say that we're in the Saturnian bubble and the Saturnian matrix, and the 10th house is associated with Saturn, and that's the highest point. So I could see that symmetry there, that connection. That would make sense to me. All right. So let's. Should I ask the question, or do you want to ask it, or how do we do this to pull cards for tonight's show?
Actually, well, I can. Actually, there are a couple of questions.
Okay.
So Hope was asking, yes, you can book a reading with me. And I have a pendulum, and I do use a pendulum sometimes with my readings. I have a quartz crystal pendulum and a and another pendulum that I have as my birthstone.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And that's amethyst, right?
I have amethyst. No, actually, that's moonstone. Moonstone.
Oh, for your moon. Oh, for Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Sagittarius birthstone? I don't know it.
Sagittarius birthstone. Not offhand, I do not.
Oh, okay. No, I just because I didn't know. So, and I think it's interesting that you have the Aquarius and Mercury in the third house, because that's kind of like communicating about science, astrology, technology, esoteric subjects, and stuff. So that's really fascinating, And with Jupiter being a chart ruler and you having Jupiter in the 12th house, that would explain the move from Long Island to San Francisco, because it's like, like shooting your arrow to foreign lands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's really kind of fascinating to me. And then even you doing this, online with clients, I assume you can do it online, right?
I can.
Yeah. So, and you've got the part of fortune in Pisces, right? In the 4th house. And the North Node, right?
Yes.
So that's totally like you're rocking that chart, man. I love it. That's that's really awesome. Okay, so did anybody have any card questions, or do you want to just read for tonight?
Actually, I could read for tonight's show everyone my technique, and yeah.
You have to shuffle. I know you have to shuffle the deck, right?
Yeah.
And then, so do you ask the question, or you want me to ask it? Like what?
You can ask a question. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask. So, all right. So, Spirit, what is the energy for episode 91 with Stephen The Jupiterian of My Knowledge is Love podcast currently tonight, right now? What's the overall theme and energy?
Oh. All right.
Let's see what we get.
Wow, we got a lot of energy. Well, all righty. This is interesting card because
All right, do tell. What is it?
The Five of Wands. It's very well. Actually, every suit is linked to an element of the zodiac or the elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Wands are fire.
Okay.
Cups are water.
Okay.
Swords are air, and pentacles are earth.
Okay, that's okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. That's good. Okay, so this is Five of Wands is like five, like the fifth house, or just what's the five reference to?
The five, well, they are. Well, the five doesn't. Well,
There's no reference. There's nothing to reference the
no,
house.
but not really. But actually, these you can see these people are like sort of like having I don't know. It's very competitive.
Okay, so is it creativity? Is it sports? Is it athletic? Is this
Well, actually, there's creativity, and it could be sport. Yeah, they're probably doing this for sport and creative, letting out creative, fiery energy.
okay?
Yeah.
So then the Five of Wands, would you associate it with Leo or Sagittarius or what? Or Aries?
Actually, you can't. Yeah, any fire sign. Yes, you
Really?
can.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually it goes with all the fire signs. Yes.
Well, that makes sense, right? Because tonight's show is an Aries ascendant, and my guest is the Jupiterian, a Sagittarius moon and rising. So there you go. All right. So what's the second card? That's kind of cool. That's pretty fascinating.
We have the Ace of Wands.
Oh, I hear about that in different people's podcasts. What does that mean? Ace of Wands.
Actually, it's to me, I see this card as a blessing that's being sent to all of us.
Good. All right, Evelyn and Hope and Danny, we're getting air filter. We're getting blessed. You're being blessed with being here, Stephen and I. That's a good thing.
This is for this show, and actually, everyone here is, and who will be watching. I'm sure those who are here and who are watching will get a nice blessing and get a gift of like some kind of maybe they'll they need to get off their butt somehow and light that fire to get them moving.
Okay, so it's sparking positive energy and initiating something positive.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So we're kind of fiery tonight.
We're
being creative with positive energy. So we all gonna get like a nice little blessing. And that makes sense as we are entering in later on this evening and early in the morning, the Sagittarius moon. So it's almost it's kind of fitting that we're doing this and we're about to head into your moon. So that's really fascinating. Now, see, I didn't know that. So the Pentacles is earth.
Yes.
The sword is air.
Yes.
Makes sense. The clubs is water.
Or cups. Yeah.
Cups is water. Sorry.
Because actually think when you think of cups, you think of water and what goes in there, because you need a container to hold that water.
Oh, cups. Okay.
Yeah.
CUPS. Okay, cups.
Yeah.
And then the wands is the fire.
Fire. Yes.
I love it. Okay, so I'm trying to. I'm being a hermit. I'm mentally putting the puzzle together, people. See, some of you guys, I know Evelyn and Hope and maybe Air Filter, I don't know. Sabale probably knows more about tarot than I do, but you guys kind of know it a bit. And when I say I know, I told you I've never even held a deck. I don't know it at all. So this is all fascinating and new for me. So let me ask you this. What would be a card that would indicate love or a love match, right? If you were doing a reading and someone says, oh, I met this new girl, or I met this new guy, and I really, think that we could be a good match. What would be the card or cards, if it's more than one, you let me know, okay, well, give us an idea just so, because, we all need more love in our life, right?
Absolutely. I turned over the deck on the bottom of the deck, the Two of Cups. There you go. And the Lovers, yes. But actually, I would say the Two of Cups, because there's communication, there's Leo, because Leo is all about all the fiery love, and then there's the mutual reception of giving or like doing a like celebration or a like saying cheers. I didn't know.
Steven, you're crazy. Okay, that's hilarious.
Wait.
So the Two of Cups, it is positive though, right?
It is
like a couple sharing a glass of wine together and communicating?
Yeah.
Because that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
absolutely.
Okay, so I'm close. Okay, good. I'm right. Okay. So, but you said that's a water sign. So could you say the Two of Cups? Would that almost be like the two fish in Pisces, or no?
It could, actually, well, since it could be.
Or I'm sorry, Cancer, the crab, 69.
It could be. It could be any water sign, but yeah. But actually, I would consider the Two of Cups mostly a Lover's card.
Okay.
Because they are communing together.
Okay.
And in a very harmonious way.
Okay, now give us the other card examples of what would be connected to positive love if someone asked a question.
Okay, yeah. Actually, we do have the lover's card.
Oh, there is an actual lover's card?
An actual card that is the lover's card, which I am looking for. Because actually, you have Adam and Eve in this card.
Oh, wow.
And Archangel Gabriel overhead blessing them.
Really? Okay. That's kind of deep.
Yeah.
See, now I'm going to have to look at a full deck and just kind of go through and understand. And so when you get a deck, I know you get like a little book and it explains the meaning of each one.
They do, yeah, yes.
Okay.
But, actually, you don't even need that book because actually, depending on the cards that you pull, every card every reading is going to tell you a story because actually then you have the beginning and then how does this card connect with the next one. Sometimes the meanings of the cards,
are they on the back of the card or
no, actually it's just that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so do you just have to kind of memorize it like astrology?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes time. So when you did the certification to become a tarot card reader, so you said you had to do a certain amount of readings?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well,
I had to
do
do
the audience because maybe somebody out there wants to do something like that. Explain the process and what you went through.
Right. Actually, well, first there were lectures that I had to watch and listen to.
Okay.
And then and quizzes. Oh, lots of quizzes and exams to do. And I've been studying this for so long that I was like, I just breezed through the questions because they were
right because you already knew it exactly
because they were easy to me,
right.
And so yeah. Then after that, I had to get my certification. I had to complete all the coursework, and then I had to do 50 online tarot card readings.
Wow. And this
Yeah.
is with strangers, right?
Yes, I did not know these people. Some were from India, some were from here in the U.S.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Actually, there was one reading that I asked her for her birth information so I can get the information of her chart or his or her chart. Um, and I took that into consideration. I took my time to look at the chart for a bit. I didn't have because actually online I didn't have to. I wasn't. It wasn't a one-on-one in meeting or
It
being.
wasn't live, you're saying.
It wasn't live, right? Right. So
Okay.
I had like a week to do the reading for this person.
Okay. And when you're doing a reading,
Yeah.
let's say if I was to book it with you, do you base it all a combination of the tarot and the astrology, or are you basing it on specifically the questions I have? So if I said to you like, oh, am I going to, have a big book tour with my astrology book that I'm writing? Like, would that be something you looked at the birth chart, or you just pulled the tarot cards to look at?
Well, in all my readings, I've looked at both. I've looked
Okay.
at I actually to see if I can feel their energy, and then I would meditate.
Astrology does connect with it and can actually help you.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And then I take my tarot card deck and then I shuffle them and I like okay, and I chant the person's name and their question a couple times as I'm shuffling, and
Okay.
then when I feel it's right, and the card I'll pull a card out, and yeah, actually I had one client who she didn't even tell me she and her boyfriend had broken up because and I felt that in the chart in the and I typed that in the reading for her, and she's like, Stephen, you just and she replied back to me, Stephen, you gave me chills. I didn't even give you that information. Yes, actually.
So what was that? Your intuition?
It wasn't my intuition. Yeah.
It was more okay.
More intuition. Yeah, actually, it's kind of interesting. It's intuition. It's the cards and the chart, which I'm I'm very in tune with. I don't know, with spirit, I guess, with that Jupiter in the 12th house.
Well, I'm kind of and that's what I was going to say, because you guys, the 12th house allows you, it's hidden talents, and so Scorpio Jupiter is very mystical, magical energy, and it can help you kind of tap in, not in a psychic way, but more in an empathic way, to the collective, because the 12th house is the foreign lands, but it's the collective, humanity, subconscious mind. The 11th house is also the collective and humanity, but it's like more in two different ways. You know what I mean? In the 12th house, it's more in the spiritual realm. In the 11th house, it's more, think of more Aquarian, where you're like serving or helping, like a nonprofit, serving and helping humanity, doing philanthropic work, like stuff like that. Where the 12th house, it's like through dreams and the subconscious mind and fantasies and that type of realm, whether it's isolation and spirituality and meditation, you can connect to the collective. So Jupiter is like, especially with Scorpio and Jupiter in the 12th house, you do it in a very occult, esoteric way that can be very healing, because Scorpio is very much the access of manifestation, right? And healing and all that stuff and transformation. So that's really cool. I mean, if I looked at your chart, I'd be like, hey, I want to get a reading with that guy, right? Because that's really that's a great placement for this gift.
Yeah.
You know, so
actually,
questions you want to check? I think I saw.
Actually, my aunt helped me so much with getting out of my head with
Okay.
that, because I was my my cousin's aunt had my cousin's mother passed away. This is another aunt who I was very close to.
Okay.
And when she passed, my cousin came over with my aunt, and she said, and I also do use angel cards for some reason. My aunt gave me a deck of angel cards, and they're just like all kinds of different angels.
Now, is that another thing that's different from the oracle as well?
It's
similar.
It's similar to. It's closer to tarot.
Okay.
But the crazy thing is that I remember this to this day when my cousin came, and I pulled a card with 3 angels on it.
Oh, wow.
Because my aunt had a daughter who passed away when she was born.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And then another one of my cousin's twin sister, Siamese twin sister.
Whoa.
They were conjoined at the pelvis.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I don't even hear about stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, actually, and they were separated when they were 9.
Wait, they weren't separated till 9 years old?
No. Yeah.
Oh my God! How did they grow and move and?
No idea. I don't know. They were born before me, and they were separated. And she was gone.
This is like in
my cousin passed away before I was gone. Before I was born. So my aunt would not talk about this story, and my cousin doesn't talk about it at all. So I pulled this card with the 3 angels, her and her 2 children, and I was like, and I just started to cry, and my cousin did not understand why I was crying, because I knew the story.
yeah, that's deep.
And I was like, all I told my cousin is that your mom is with her daughters, her other kids.
Yeah. Oh, that's special. That's, I think, so I guess, let me ask you this. Depending on the client's questions or their desires, would you recommend angel cards compared to oracle cards or compared to tarot cards? Like, how would you assist in guiding a reading with someone?
Oh yeah, actually, well, I would actually have the client actually look at the card that I feel that they need to resonate most with, and just look at the card and just put it in their mind's eye and meditate with it, and answers will definitely come. And it has and I've recommended this to clients of mine, and they did use it, and like, wow, yes. And they got answers that even
but I'm saying, for me, right, I don't know about any of those cards. So if I said, hey, Stephen, I wanted to do a reading about my astrology business, or a reading about a screenplay that I'm writing, would you would you say, because I know nothing about all 3, would you do just tarot? Would you recommend doing the other ones? What do you feel the client gets the best benefit or information?
Actually, I would give it up to the client, because actually there were times when I just I asked the client just out of the blue if they knew their chart, and I was like, and I let them know it would help me immensely if I knew more about their chart and with their date, time, and place of birth.
Okay, so then
So
after
they don't have to always give me that. But I've had clients say no, then they just wanted a tarot card reading, which is fine by me. And I just did it, and I still got the same result. So yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it was
So how long is a tarot card reading?
A tarot card reading could last a half hour to an hour, depending on if they have questions about a whole year or 2 or 3 questions.
So now, do you have like a question limit for one reading, or do you have different tiers? Like, how do you do that? Like,
actually, yeah. Oh, I have. Well, depending on how, if they want an hour reading, it's a certain amount of money. If they're willing to pay that much money for an hour, then I will give them that time to
ask as many questions in an hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to get, because like I really, like I said, I don't know and I've never done it, so I'm kind of curious, like how that works out and how that plays out. You want to check the chat? I think we might have.
I have a lot of people who are definitely going to be contacting me.
Oh, good. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, why don't you read some of the comments, because we got a lot of comments here. Gosh. You guys are loving the tarot. We got some new people too. So, go ahead. Why don't you read some of them?
Irene is here. Hello, Irene.
Hey, Irene.
And yeah. So yeah, actually, Evelyn is asking me to pull a card for her.
You want to do that? Why don't you pull a card for her? Does she have a specific question?
She actually, no, she does not have a specific question, but I can just pull a card for Irene also, and for
okay.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Let's do it, man. Come on.
Let's see
let's see the magic. We need to, so you got to shuffle. And so you want to do Evelyn first and then Irene?
Yes.
Okay. So Evelyn Torres, this is.
I know Irene asked first, but I saw Evelyn first. But
okay.
So Evelyn, this is for you. Let's see what Spirit has to say for Evelyn Torres. What does Evelyn need to know? Right. Ooh. All right, girl. You got the King of Wands. You sit on that throne. You be the boss.
Okay. So what is that? Explain. What does that mean? Besides
this is actually, I would say this is more geared to a Leo energy, because there's the Leo, the sign of Leo. There's a Leo right there,
yeah.
on his throne, and there's his little gecko or some kind of minion, I guess,
So Evelyn's got to be the regal queen that she is, and she's a Sagittarius sun, so that's cool.
So yeah, actually, take ownership of that boss energy.
Yeah, I've been telling Evelyn that kind of resonates, huh? That's pretty cool. Okay.
So yeah. And I know it takes time. It took time for me to get confident in my abilities. Actually, I was nervous tonight.
That's all right. Listen. This is what I want for all my Coffee Talk people, right? I want all of you guys to soar and just, be the best versions of yourself, and all of my former clients. And so, to me, I'm honored to, have a client and someone that, Stephen comes to the podcast and Coffee Talk every month, to, actually have him on as a guest to promote his channel and his business, because, that's what this is all about. That's what knowledge is love is all about, you guys. So, but now I'm ready. Let's come on, Irene.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Let's shuffle up good for Irene, Stephen. I want to see what Irene's card is.
Irene. What does Spirit have to say?
Hey, Stephen, do you think the card will tell Irene to come to Coffee Talk next month?
Number 12? It could. It really could.
Tell her to stop being shy and come hang out with us. See, now I have you on, Stephen, not just on the chat. You tell Irene how much fun we have.
We have so much fun, Irene.
We learn.
So fun. And, oh, my gosh. Actually, I was nervous to come to Coffee Talk. And I was like, you know what? I'm putting myself out there. It's my time to go out and actually.
And wait, did I make you feel comfortable? I don't bite, right?
No, you do not bite at all. I felt at home. I felt comfortable. I was like, I'm with my peeps.
That's right. And see, thank you for saying that, Stephen, because that's what I joke, but Hope and Isaac and Danny and Evelyn and Air Filter. I hope you come and all of you new people, on here tonight. And you know what I mean? Because that's what I'm trying to build, you guys, honestly. And Jacqueline, is Jacqueline on, Stephen? I haven't seen Jacqueline.
No.
Episodes. We missed Jacqueline. We watched this on the replay. And Enchanting and Temptress. I want all you guys to come to Coffee Talk because honestly, I've got the 11th house stellium for a reason, right? I'm about building community. And I'm trying to build this astrological community because I don't want you guys to feel like you're alone. You're not, and we really do. And I teach to all levels, right? Isaac's been learning so much, Hope, right? And it's just been amazing. And my friend Lisa Gardner, she's been learning. So we have newbies that don't know really anything about astrology. And then we've got people like Kimberly and Stephen and Evelyn and Hope who know a lot. And Kimberly, she knows some of the Vedic. So we've got all types of people coming on, and it's just a blessing. And it's worldwide, right? We got Sandra from Sweden and Haifa joining us from Saudi Arabia. So it's a blessing. Yeah. So please, okay. All right. Enough of me talking. Pull the card for Irene.
I pulled actually one card fell out. I pulled another one for Irene. Yeah. Because I wanted to see what I had to say. And I get a lot of this. Yes. Get out of your emotional head, sweetie.
Oh, what card is that?
This is like the Knight of Cups. The Knight of
explain that. I know nothing about
emotions. Let your emotions go. Let the nerves zip right by and be the. Actually, this card not only represents lovers. It's almost also the card of Gemini.
Oh well, she's got Gemini energy. Yeah,
I know. Actually, I know because I know this because actually I know she has Gemini energy, and I was like, her card came up. Yes, she needs to come to Coffee Talk.
Okay, so there's nothing to be nervous about or emotional.
And
come meet your tribe. Exactly. I love it. And and Stephen, I feel I can just tell from literally through the computer. That Irene is really kind of gifted and intuitive. And, I joke with you, Irene, but I really think highly of you. And I would be honored to meet you and I'm very excited. So, and I think everybody else on here wants to meet you too, Irene, because, we all come together for these episodes and Stephen and Hope and Danny and Evelyn and Isaac and Kimberly, like they're all at Coffee Talk. And so I'm sure they would like to meet you too, because, you guys have these great exchanges here and it's really about building community. So, that's awesome.
Actually, and the way I come across with my readings is very genuine, and having a background in teaching and presenting all the time. And, has given me I've gained confidence in my ability to speak in front of people and to present to things that I actually know about.
Well, no, and it's great because you see what happens because you have the sun in the 4th house. It makes you more of an introvert. Now, I think you told me your dad has always been in your life, and usually the sun in the fourth house. That's not the
Yeah.
case, right?
Yeah,
But
my dad is still alive. Yes.
yeah, and that's a blessing. And you guys have a good relationship.
Yes. Yeah, it was rocky in the beginning, because he was the type of dad who was like, he was a family man, but actually he didn't really go out to the park with you to play ball or
Oh,
do anything like that. He's like okay, actually he would take us on trips into like at places, but
okay. And what's your dad's sign?
he's a Libra.
Oh,
Well, actually, my mom and dad are both on the cusp. My dad's birthday is the 23rd of October.
so the Libra Scorpio cusp.
September. Sorry,
September. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the Virgo Libra cusp.
Libra cusp. Yeah. My mom is the Gemini Taurus Gemini cusp. May 20th.
Okay. So the cusp of energy and the cusp of beauty.
Mm.
Okay, that's interesting. So Earth, air, energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that those are two interesting cusps. And cuspies, they're different. So that's what made Stephen the Jupiterian. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, actually, it's so funny that when you mentioned the other day that of people who have their moon or rising in Scorpio had their parents had a tough birth.
The mother had a tough pregnancy or a tough birth. Yeah.
It happened to my mom. Yeah, she has
Oh.
Scorpio moon, and the umbilical cord was around her neck.
Oh my gosh! See, the astrology isn't wrong.
No,
That's me.
well, I'm just letting you know that, Eric. You're right.
Thank you. That's awesome. And that's the type of stuff we share in Coffee Talk too, Irene, because it's interesting to know astrology knowledge, but you have to just get in there and dig in charts, but communicate with the people and sort of find out how an energy plays out for the individual. And it's so layered, right? It's what is it aspecting? What is the degree? What else is in that house and the conjunction? You know what I mean? Because Stephen's sun in Pisces can play out for someone else's sun in Pisces where maybe their dad wasn't involved. Right. And so his dad was involved, but in the way maybe that he saw fit, in terms of traveling and movement, Virgo Libra cusp. But Stephen was like, hey, can we go to the park and play catch? And maybe his dad wasn't into it as much. So it's just kind of interesting, because even though I tell you guys that the sun in the fourth house can indicate either issues with the father or divorce of the parents or different things, that energy can play out differently depending on, because Stephen has a couple of different things in his fourth house, right? You got part of fortune, Juno, and is that it?
Venus.
Oh, Venus is there too in Pisces?
Yes.
Also, see, and that's why there wasn't a divorce or anything. Venus is like that little, remember I taught this in Coffee Talk. Venus is like that guardian angel. Yeah. So even though the Venus and Sun don't get along so much, Venus is exalted in Pisces, you guys. So for Stephen's case, that's why the father, was still really a part of his life. Because most times when you see the sun in the fourth house, it can, create an issue. Doesn't mean you and dad won't ever get along, but it can mean in the early part of birth that mom and dad divorce, dad could pass away if Saturn's conjunct the sun, or there's just dad is kind of like a deadbeat or not involved. But Venus was there, Stephen. So that gives you a different perspective. That's fascinating. Oh, and you know what? Venus is automobile. So did dad like to go on road trips too? Or
we did. Oh my gosh, yes. Actually, we drove to Orlando.
Oh, there you go.
When we were kids. I was like, oh gosh. It was fun when we got there, but oh my gosh.
I know. But that's funny. And then also I was going to say, because you have the sun in the 4th house, when you were talking about being shy at first. So when the sun is below the horizon, you guys, right, it makes you an introvert below the ascendant. So if your sun is in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, sometimes 5th and 6th, it makes you more introverted.
Oh yeah, actually, with my master's degree in educational theater, it had, and that broke me out of my shell. Definitely.
I bet. Well, like I said, having the moon in the ascendant, it makes you extremely creative, Stephen. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So any last, does anybody else want you to pull a card before we get ready to go, or any last questions? See anything?
I
see some different, see if there's somebody new, maybe that, I don't know if Air Filter or somebody else has a comment or question. Maybe you can answer for them.
Yeah, well, someone asked what my sign was, and I'm a Pisces, Sagittarius rising, Sag moon, and
Yeah. Pisces sun and North Node.
Yes, they are conjunct. Yes.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that could happen, I guess, in my chart. Actually, I never know that until I read my own chart, that you're meant to do what you're doing right now. Like,
yeah. Well, because the North Node in the 4th house is like really speaking to like that spiritual career.
Yeah, actually, I held I kept it a secret. Thank God that. Well, I think Jupiter in the 12th house helped me keep the secret of that. I know this stuff from a lot of people who I could sense were skeptics, and I was like, yeah, they don't.
You can read the energy.
No, God, yeah. I would walk into
Jupiter and Scorpio is really powerful like that.
I could walk into a room and I could feel the energy. I knew something was going down one day at work because the energy was heavy and yeah, it was very strange. I was like, someone's getting fired today. Wasn't me. Thank God.
It wasn't you? Well, that's good.
All right. Hope wants me to pull a card for her.
Okay, let's pull for Hope, and then we'll get ready to wind down. That's awesome.
All right, Hope. Should Hope stop being scared to believe things are working out?
Gotta have that faith, Hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, faith is what got me through.
Amen. You gotta have it, right? You got to. Whatever you believe in it.
Yeah. The 3 of Wands. You're looking out there. You're curious to see what's out there.
Well, that's her Gemini energy. Sometimes I think maybe she's overthinking.
Yes.
And she's very curious, but Hope is super intuitive and psychic. And she's got a trust in herself. She's doing like Reiki stuff now and different things. So she's Hope's amazing too.
Yeah.
I only attract amazing people. I mean, come on.
Yeah, actually, don't sit on the sidelines. I know there's a big world out there. Do not be afraid of it.
Yeah, you got to jump in the arena.
Yeah, jump in the water. Yeah. Jump in that water. Go for it.
Wow. Thank you, Stephen. That's so awesome. And, and I really, I believe that for Hope. I know, I haven't met Irene yet, but Hope and Evelyn are very gifted, and I see them, in different variations doing, whether it's astrology or tarot or, intuitive readings or Reiki or just all these different things. And I think so many of us have gifts in this time that people are hesitant to, put it. And that's the thing. You got to study and put in the work and research. You got to learn, take a course or class. I'm still building my astrology course, but I'm already starting the one-on-one teachings. And, but, you guys just believe in yourself because, as I always tell you, like even, showing you examples of Stephen's charts tonight, you can see the gifts in the, in the natal birth chart. And it's, I can tell you, right, always see what I say, right? The client can misremember. The astrologer can misinterpret, but the astrology is never wrong. It is super duper powerful. And so, you know what I mean? And so I think this is a perfect example. And it even makes more sense, right? Here's an example with Stephen. The North Node in Venus, right? That's what kept the relationship with him and Dad. But if it was the South Node in Mars, Dad would have been gone. Okay? So there's that little lesson for you guys, you know what I mean? And it's kind of deep. It's very, very deep. So
yeah, actually, it took me. I God's honest truth. Actually, it took me a long time to put myself out there. I was like, I have this gift. I need to share it. Actually, someone told me, you have this. Don't hold on to it and keep it for yourself. Share it with people who are willing to receive these messages. So it's like, wow.
Right, and that's really powerful, right?
Yes, and it's sort of that was the fire that I needed under my. Well, actually, I have the fire in me all the time. I have Mars and Aries in the 5th house.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
I was like, yeah, I knew I could do it, but actually, I was like, I needed that confidence booster.
Come here. And that's what it does, right? The energy just tells you, it's like, come here.
Yeah.
Just to like really kind of to pull you to like do it. And that's what Hope and Irene and Evelyn and any of you guys watching, don't be afraid of your gifts. But I will say this, and Stephen could probably
it's for too long, and I'm like, I could have shared this a long time ago.
But the point is, you're doing it now. Don't beat yourself up. But that's the thing, right? When you get these gifts, you guys, you have to share it, right? I mean, you just can't. So we're gonna wrap up the show, Stephen.
Thank you so much,
my friend. This is so amazing. Why don't you let's give your email again?
Okay.
And so how can people reach you so they can book readings with Stephen the Jupiterian?
My email is Stephen Schatz. I'll even type it in the chat box.
Oh, awesome! Great.
For everybody.
This was super fun. I've learned a lot. I'm kind of curious now about the oracle cards. Oh, I think that might be the private chat. You have to put it in the regular chat.
All right. Where do I do that?
And if not, what I'll do is if you just email it to me. I'll
put
it.
Email is stephenschatz@gmail.com. That's STEPHENSCHATZ@gmail.com.
SCHATZ Schatz.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll put that in. I'll remember that, SCHATZ, and I'll put that in the description of the show. You guys, do me a favor. Go to the link is down below. Go to Stephen the Jupiterian's page, and let's build up his YouTube channel. and start following him and get more tarot videos and stuff from Stephen. And Stephen, thank you, my friend, for joining me tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah, a new one will be up next week. Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have one planned for actually. You'll catch me on Halloween.
Awesome.
I'll be doing a Halloween tarot card reading. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I'll look for that. I've been watching. I've caught quite a few of your videos, and I like them. So you guys go support his channel, and hey, book a reading with Stephen. You know. But thank you for giving me some insight and sharing your gifts and knowledge with us, Stephen. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you November 12th for Astrological Coffee Talk with Eric. You know. And you guys can also email me. And listen, if you guys want, any of you guys, make sure you come and get your sticker, right? If you're a part of Coffee Talk or whatever, just give me your address, right? And I can mail out a sticker to you, right? And then obviously we got the sticker. I'm going to be selling them for $1 a piece, but for all of you who are Coffee Talk members, you get it for free. So. Yeah, just hit me up, and this has been a blast. All right, everybody, episode 91, Knowledge is Love. Thank you. Oh, please, after this is done, like it, share it, comment. Let's build up the algorithms. Let's boost up Stephen and go follow his page, all right?
Thank you.
All right, guys, bye. Thank you so much, Stephen. Bye.